How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Great.
Doing good. Good.
You know who's probably feeling the effects of what I think is going to be day 2 of his hangover? Actually, this is day 1 of his hangover. The man who had the most fun following the Chiefs Super Bowl. Have you seen the videos of Jason Kelce?
The post-game party?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of them.
Luchador mask, dance, like raving?
Well, there've been a couple. There's one where it's Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. They're dancing to our song, a Taylor Swift song, which has got to be weird.
Kind of weird.
I mean, as a musician, wouldn't that be weird to have like it's your song that's playing, and obviously people are going to want like you to sing it around them, right? And so she was like singing to Travis, and they were dancing and kissing and all that stuff, and then it pans over, and you have the Marshmallow guy. What's his name? Is it Marshmallow?
The
DJ Marshmallow is there with his big marshmallow head, and then you just see this big lumbering dude in his overall Kansas City Chiefs overalls in the luchador mask, standing right next to the Marshmallow guy, and he's just kind of like swaying back and forth. That was video number 1 I saw. The second one was somebody was taking video of Travis and Taylor leaving the party.
And him putting a jacket on Taylor Swift, and Jason Kelce's in the background, completely hammered, almost going face first into a tree.
Falling into a planter box. Like he is falling into a planter's box like...
Absolutely canned.
Hammered. And this is just telling me that nobody has more fun than Jason Kelce right now.
To be fair, he was very blunt in his description of how he and his wife first met, which was at a date. They went to a bar. He got absolutely belligerently hammered and had to be carried home by one of the Eagles' tight ends. Fireman carried
on the night that he met her on Tinder. He said, "Come meet us at the bar," and he ended up blacking out and passing out at the bar.
And had to be carried home by a tight end.
My goodness.
So she knew what she was getting into right away.
That man, and there's nobody else on that Chiefs team that was as sideways as Jason Kelce was. God bless him. God bless. I guess he did have like an 8-hour head start, because I've heard in Will's update, longest Super Bowl ever. Will Ortner's here, everybody.
That's right.
Time-wise, that was the longest one.
That's what the ESPN report that I took it from said.
It went to overtime, obviously.
And it went all the way through overtime.
Did anybody else notice how long halftime was?
The Usher performance was 12 minutes and 43 seconds.
But the halftime itself, I saw Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk. It was supposed to be 30 minutes.
How long did it go?
They ran the clock for a minute in the stadium and then stopped it at 29. It was stuck on 29 for like 6 minutes. And then they started rolling the clock again. So I think it was like a 35-minute halftime that they had.
Good God.
That's a really long time.
That's a long time.
I didn't really notice it, but at one point I was like, because they usually do like the go to break, they do the quick hit with the desk, and it's really quick.
It's real quick, and then throw.
Boom, they're right back onto the field. They were on there for so long, and that's where you got your Phil Simms bitching.
Yes, and I think that was where, like, I think they had to fill something there, because I seriously wonder if the DJ Tiesto thing screwed up the beginning of that. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Him not being there made them change stuff, and they weren't ready because they had to make a literal day before the show changes. And so they needed an additional couple minutes to...
He backed out on Thursday evening due to a family emergency. Yeah. So then on Friday, it was like, apparently Usher was just reaching out to like Bieber. He was reaching probably out Taylor Swift, like, hey, she's like, no. No. He was reaching out to everybody to see if they could kind of fill that role. And I don't know. I don't know what ended up happening.
But I would imagine that's probably why it extended the way that it did.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Did you see this quote from Kelce with Shaq before the
Jason?
game? Yeah, with talking about how Travis had to move out of his house because of the Taylor Swift fame. Yeah, the quote from him, Travis had to completely move out of his house. People were just staying by his house. And the first day he moved to a new house, somebody came and knocked on the window.
On the very first day?
Yes. So they probably, even if they ran like a fake car out, they probably had somebody sitting out the back and watched them go a different way, which is what these paparazzi, like the high-end paparazzi, it's what they do.
Those people, can we do away with paparazzi? Like, that should be against the law.
You would think that it would fall under.
Technically journalism.
I know it's freedom of the press.
And the irony is that most of the time when there's big breaking news, the best reporting group is TMZ.
TMZ.
So do you know what's funny is the people that really like to screw the paparazzi? God, I can't remember her name. She's super famous, but she wears the exact same thing every time she leaves the house publicly, so paparazzi can't sell the pictures as new. Same outfit every time. So they can't go because
is that like Sia?
Huh?
Is that Sia? She's like an artist. She's
I
the
know,
one
I know
who
who she is, but no,
cover her face.
It's not. No. This person wears the same thing. Wears like the literals, like buys multiples of the same exact thing, so that they can't go sell it to the tabloids.
She's getting the white Hanes T-shirt.
Yeah, not quite. Yes, like a white T-shirt, green pants, baseball hat, like dad hat.
See, and that's the thing about paparazzi that I don't understand is why they can't let people just live their normal lives. Like they're just there to take their pictures, like leaving the house. Like who cares? Who cares?
Somebody does. Somewhere.
Do people care that much? No.
You'd be surprised. Well,
With Swifties.
no. I would say, yeah, they do. Bayhive, Swifties, yeah, they do.
God, that is a weird thing.
Imagine never being able to leave your house without being fully done up.
Do I just not care about anything enough?
No, that's exactly it.
I mean,
that's exactly it.
Well, you're normal.
okay, so this is for a very small number of people that are very passionate that will just click on whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you need to
Stalkers.
do. You need to friend this. This is a business opportunity for you.
I'm not befriending the Swifties.
No, you should. No, you should befriend Travis Kelce and be his body double.
I'm all for that.
You can be the guy that slips out the front door, and as he's going out the back, you are the one taking all the heat from the paparazzi.
I'm all for that. Me and fake Taylor Swift. We'll get like trailer Swift, and then we'll hang out. We'll have body doubles. It'll be perfect.
And they'll be like, that guy doesn't look like Travis Kelce at all.
That's a lie. If it's at night, I'll get away with it perfectly. Me and Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah, if it's night and the paparazzi and the people looking at the photos are drunk, then Will Ortner looks like Travis Kelce.
They were sober.
It's
happening more and more, man. Get on board.
Yeah.
Jump on the train or get run over on the tracks.
What is the sweet spot of fame then? Like, because Jim Carrey said this. He's like, I think everybody should be famous so they can all find out it's not what it's cracked up to be.
It's not
fun. Which, people say that about like people that win the lottery. Like you win a lot of money in the lottery. All of a sudden you got relatives coming out of the woodwork. People are coming to your home to get injured on your property so they could sue you, even though it's like you're trespassing. Yeah. Like they'll come in to be like, God tripped on your sidewalk. Wasn't right. I'm going to sue you for $20 million, Stuff like that. You hear like those horror stories of people that win the lottery. But what's a sweet spot of fame where you can be obscure enough to live your life, but
it's like a behind the scenes thing. It's like a writer.
I think that's what people are doing now, though, is a lot of these celebrities are moving like to Salt Lake City, and they're moving to Denver, or they're moving far
it's a good thing
away.
To be here,
in Portland. Like Danny Glover, everybody.
Honestly, like even Trailblazers talking to players. Number one, I ran into Tamani at the mall before Christmas. Nobody recognized him.
He's a lot of 6'8" jacked dudes walking around Washington Square.
I ran into him. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" We talked about Christmas presents. Nobody else came up to us. Nothing.
He is jacked out of his gourd.
He is absolutely ripped. But again, also 6'8", not a white guy. Stands out. But I think Portland does a really good job of leaving those guys alone for the most part. Like we kind of understand. Like even at the peak of fame for Dame could go places and be left alone.
That it is really unique to kind of this area where there's people that will, but you don't get bombarded like you do in other places.
Like if you're in LA and you do that, they're just going to swarm to you. And there's places that they swarm, like if you go to like the Nines when a team comes into town.
Absolutely.
Like if you go down there when the Lakers come into town or the Warriors come into town or something along those lines, there will be a conglomeration of people who but that's also like the accepted place to do that. nowhere else really in the city does that happen. Like you don't, whether you go to a nice restaurant or something like that, like Nostrana is a place that most players from visiting teams will go to dinner because it's a nice Italian spot, but it's tiny. And I was in there one night. Joel Embiid, JJ Redick, Jimmy Butler all came in.
How could you tell it was Joel?
I don't know, 7-foot guy that came in. I think that was the giveaway. I think that was like JJ Redick, though. That's a sweet spot of like just being like a guy that could blend in.
Well, JJ came in first, and I was like, "Oh, JJ," and that was it. Then Joel came in. I was like, "Ah, Joel." That you can't kind of hide.
Hey, that guy had to duck walking through the door.
Yeah. Then Jimmy came in wearing a, like the robes that kings wear.
Hell yeah.
But
that's what I'd do.
It was like a fur, like not like a robe that you wrap yourself in, but like the cape kind of a deal. You know what I'm talking about? Like the big fur cape that goes around behind you.
Did he realize he was in Portland, Oregon?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He
had that.
Like
on.
that's a calculated decision. I'm going to travel with this.
Yeah, but he had
that's
like
a bag in itself.
Then he had like a Louis Vuitton branded boxing robe on underneath it, and with like matching shorts.
He went cape and robe?
Oh yeah.
That guy Googled Portland and found keep Portland weird and was like, I got the fit for this.
When he walked in, though,
he's like, I got this nailed.
Jimmy said, or JJ said something I can't repeat on radio, and I audibly laughed. And he kind of looked over at me, and I was like, all right, whatever, kind of a deal, because it was so ridiculous. And then Jimmy Butler proceeded to take and grab the sommelier, the one guy, and keep him at his table the entire night. And he had like basically every bottle of wine the place had on the table.
How did he play the next day?
I don't remember.
Ooh. Right above Pete Davidson, right below Bradley Cooper. That's my sweet spot of fame. That came coming in on the Vancouver.
Oh, no, that's way too famous.
Pete Davidson, way too famous. I mean, anytime you're stooping a Kardashian, like, nah.
Well, he's not anymore.
Well, I know, but then you reach a level of fame. Like, that's like Travis Kelce's life will never be the same because he's dating Taylor Swift. So from here moving forward.
Smart of you not to assume stooping.
He is. Oh, I'm assuming that.
Maybe they're waiting.
Maybe. But when you go down that road of fame and you're dating somebody that famous and that has that following, that is that passionate, psycho, crazy, whatever you want to call it, at that point, your life is never going to be the same again. Because if you break up with them, no matter where you go, those people were going to hate you forever. Dead to them. Dead.
Yeah.
Dead. And
what about Paul Rudd?
I would love that. Paul Rudd is that's a great one. Paul Rudd is
he's more down homey famous.
I think down homey famous is what you want to be.
Sudeikis.
Yeah, Jason Sudeikis. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you're now we're all just naming people that look alike and are from Kansas City.
Yes. Well, that's what I was going for.
Ed Helms.
Midwest famous. Yes.
Ed Helms. There you go. Because people are like, hey, you're the guy from Ted Lasso. And you're like, nah, no. Hangover. Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Close
the
enough.
Office. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that is your...
Yeah, Bradley Cooper, Pete Davidson. That's way too famous.
That's way too famous.
Way too pretty, too. Not Pete Davidson.
Well... I think the other sex would argue otherwise.
I don't think they're with him because he's pretty.
He's got a huge personality.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
He does.
Enormous.
Comedian. Very funny man. Mm-hmm. Very funny man.
Multiple specials.
Hey, speaking of 24 hours from now, right now, right meow, Bill Burr will join us. Speaking of funny
Indeed.
man, that's a good sweet spot of fame, too.
Will Horner's surprised by this news.
Bill Burr will join us tomorrow.
I might just show up tomorrow.
At 12:15 to hear a phone call.
He's not in studio.
Yeah, he'll be on the phone.
Man,
he'll be on the phone with us.
But he will be here next week, not in studio in Portland.
That is correct.
He is playing Moda on the 22nd.
Yeah. And then, but you have to, down homey famous is one, but then... I think you have to nip it in the bud early. Where
we might have to ask Bill about that. What's the best level of fame?
Yeah,
because he's
got a pretty good one.
He's global fame though.
You have to nip it in the bud early. That's not the life you want to. You don't want to live that paparazzi life.
Yeah,
because you just got to be like, this isn't for me. I'm not going to give you anything. You know, I'm just going to keep my head down and go. But if you lean too far into that, then they're going to be like, I'm going to get a reaction out of this person. We're going to absolutely crush you.
The Tom Hanks, stay the bleep away from my wife.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, if you've seen the video, Tom Hanks was right.
He was.
He was.
They almost hit her with the car, right?
Which was really funny because all the other paparazzi who had covered Tom Hanks were looking at that single guy like, dude, what are you doing? That's
Dude.
Tom Hanks. His wife.
America's dad. What are you doing? I think the perfect level of fame has to do with your established social expectations. Bill Murray and Dave Grohl are out partying, crashing events all the time, but that's what they do, so it's not a thing. However, your A-listers with PR folk never allow clients to build that exposure. That's a great text on the Vancouver Ford text line, because Bill Murray he set this out at the onset of his career. You know, he has a phone number, like an 800 number. Like he doesn't give people like his cell phone number. For a long time, he didn't have a cell phone. So if you want to like contact him to get him on a movie or do a cameo on something, like he has like this 800 number where you leave like a message for Bill Murray.
Doesn't have an agent that handles that stuff?
Apparently not. But that's how he got he was in that Garfield movie that sucked.
Oh.
He was Garfield. Do you
One or
remember that?
two.
He was, he thought they were the Coen brothers who did it, not those Coen brothers, not the ones that did like Big Fish and all that. It was a different set of Coen brothers, different spelling even, I believe. And he was like,
no H.
Well, I'm committed to this, so here we are.
Surprise!
Shut up, not a good one. And I think he regrets that to this day, doing that Garfield movie.
Those movies were fine.
Yeah, all right.
For like kids.
There's a new one coming out.
There's always a new. It's like Garfield, Scooby-Doo. They've always got new
I'll tell you what, I saw that Spider-Man where they brought all three of the Spider-Mans together.
It's a great movie.
Where they went to like different world universes.
No Way Home. Yeah.
No Way Home, that's what it is. That was good.
I thought you were going to say it wasn't. I was like, that
was really good. Because people hated Tobey Maguire. People hated the other guy.
Andrew Garfield.
That's him. Yep, that's the name I'm looking for.
Which I thought they both were good.
And then people really do love the guy
Tom Holland,
who's dating Zendaya. Who Tom Holland kind of looks like Timothée Chalamet, who's in Dune with Zendaya, which I think is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of has
he's
that
dating
same...
a Kardashian.
Wait, what?
Chalamet.
Really?
Yeah, he's dating Kylie Jenner.
See? Too far.
He's not going after Zendaya.
That's too much fame.
You don't want to do that.
Too much fame.
Yep. Nope. He stepped in it. He stepped in it.
No, dude, he's pretty. He's been doing stuff for a while.
Chris Pratt.
Well, I know.
Chris Pratt is the new Garfield.
Right?
Yeah. It's coming out in May.
Dude, Chris Pratt has done Mario. He wasn't.
He voiced something else.
Was he Sonic? He was another big one. He's just doing a lot of voice. Chris Pratt, I love Chris Pratt. I know he gets a lot of flack because he's religious. Why? Let him live his life. I think he's a really good actor. I think he's funny too.
Yes.
People are like, oh yeah, I don't like that guy anymore. Don't let him live his life. Whatever.
Seems like a nice guy. Roots for the Hawks.
Andy Dwyer. He's Andy Dwyer. That's a great character. One of my favorite characters ever.
It says you have network connectivity issues.
Did you know that was a real...
Oh, he did the Lego movie.
Lego movie. He was the Lego guy.
Like, there's a famous one in here I'm forgetting.
The network connectivity.
Ad-lib.
Completely ad-lib because they have all of the computers in Parks and Rec. They were there and he clicked on the internet and it said connectivity issues because they didn't connect it to the internet. So he just read the screen. That was brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. He's one of my favorite. I love him. All right, here we go. Now we just got people commenting on fame, and I'm here for it all.
Jordan Spieth's a good one.
Jordan Spieth level of fame.
Professional golfer, like high-earning professional golfer, not named Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson is a good one because nobody knows who you are.
Private jet money.
Yeah, you got crazy money, and nobody knows who you are,
and you're really good at golf.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's the sweet spot.
You just go and you clean up at. Like if I was a pro golfer, I'd go and I'd screw with people. Like I'd have like an old golf bag, and
play left-handed.
I'd have like old. It would just look like it's raggedy. I'd have like old club head covers, and
hustling.
Just hustle. Just go to like
pool sharking.
I would go to like a 9-hole golf course and just tear it up.
Skins.
And
for
just
days.
join in a group of like 3 guys who are just getting trashed wearing jorts and a wife beater out on the course. Like go to that kind of place
and definitely
then
definitely match the occasion.
and then just step on the tee box and
Just bomb.
Just bomb one and be like, wow, it must be my day today, huh?
It's weird. It's been my day all 9 holes.
Be like, all right, guys, good seeing you. And be like, God, we played with this guy.
Just absolute stick.
I don't even know who he is, man. Some people are like, man, you should go pro. Yeah, I should.
I thought about it.
Pretty good, though. Pretty good.
See, that's the life.
But like this one, big time soccer guys, crazy money, Europe, limited fame, but still famous.
They're not famous here. Messi. He loves playing for Miami because he says he could go to the grocery store because he looks like everybody else in Miami and nobody cares.
He said it was the first time he could go to the grocery store as an adult.
Because in Europe, he's the most famous person in Europe. Not even close. He is the most famous player, athlete, person, whatever in Europe.
But meanwhile, he's like going to the Publix in Miami and they're like,
Nobody bats an eye.
what's up, dude?
Looks like any other like Cuban dude who emigrated.
Yeah.
Nobody even says a word. It's got to be great.
Yeah. This person just said Spieth would crush Killarney West. That is the exact golf course I was thinking about when I was saying you just roll out there, dudes in jorts, and just be like, hey, here we go.
I had Sandley and Wilson.
I'm just going to roll out here and say, all right, let's go, baby. All right. We got sports show today.
We do. And we also, I think we set a new record for the first segment.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Historic long.
Time is flat.